Werewolves are assholes, but vampires are worse.
So, as you can imagine, at this point, things weren't looking so hot for us. We had little Missy locked up with some kind of supernatural furniture next to Mark in my garage. One of our werewolves is better toilet-ridden. We have a literal hostage situation. Our seasoned vampire hunter was nowhere to be found, and I'll definitely be having a talk with that secret-keeping bitch about that when I see her again. And yeah, the vampires. I was definitely over my head, but you can bet your ass I'll never have to wash a dish or dust a shelf for the rest of my life after this. Oh, and for the people asking about our cannibalistic princess and her name, well, she said something about it when she asked me to write this little part. She said she wants to do something like in the Brad Pitt movie where the guy telling the story never mentions her name. And that girl sure likes her movies. Bless her heart. So at this point, we were still all huddled in the living room trying to figure out what we're going to do next, making our best effort to talk over the dual barrage of obscenities spilling out from the garage. Finally, we agreed to get closer to the door for a minute and let them tucker themselves out. Okay, Wolf Boy, any ideas? I said once I closed the door and walked back into the room with everyone else.
We might be screwed,
Milo says in response. That was followed by a mild uproar from everyone in attendance. Likely not what they wanted to hear from the only one in the room even half familiar with all this nonsense. I managed to get everyone quieted down about the time Jasmine started to pick up another heavy object to bash Milo with again. All right, everybody just calm the hell down, I hollered over the ruckus. Listen, sugar, you gotta chill. It ain't that boy's fault he's simple, I said to Jasmine whilst I took the marble elephant statue out of her hands. And that was expensive. Try to go for something cheap next time. About that time, Trey spoke up.
Okay, so we're gonna have to do something. We can't just leave her in there like that,
he said, pointing towards the garage where the muffled commotion could still be heard. And what the hell is it we're supposed to do? Joanna commented back. Trey started to answer, but Dex beat him to it.
Whatever we can! Not to mention that guy's still in there with plugs missing from all over the place. And I don't know about you, but I have to clean up one more pile of Mark's shit. Him or me is gonna die.
About this time, the sun was already up, and about mid-argument, we all stopped and turned to see the stairs creak as Tegan came down. What is all these noise and screams? She said in that darling broken English of hers. She looked an absolute mess. Poor girl looked like death eating a cracker. Oh, sweetie, you don't need to worry about all that right now, I said about the same time Milo said.
What are you doing down here? You should be resting in your room. I'll come up and tell you everything and...
No! You will tell me now! Somebody drop the piece!
Beans. It spilled the beans.
What? Who has spilled beans?
No, I was just... The expression is spill the beans.
Why did you spill beans? Have you cleaned them? Why would you leave such mess? You go clean these beans. Milo was off in the corner with his face buried in his palms in embarrassment. Dex made his way into the kitchen long enough to fake cleaning imaginary beans and returned to the living room with everyone else.
Okay, fuck all of you for not helping me out with that.
Then we got taken up to speed on everything that happened since she went upstairs, down to the metal thing that just saved all our asses. As you might imagine, she was a tad distraught. What? You have her locked like some animal? She screamed before turning to make for the garage.
No.
Milo stopped her.
We're trying to let her wear herself out for a while to see if she calms down a little.
No, I must go help. She stopped as a long, low growl roared across the room from Tegan's stomach. Oh no, she groaned, grabbing her gun and dashing up the stairs like lightning. A few seconds later, we all heard the bathroom door slam shut. We all turned to look at Milo.
Werewolf stuff,
he said quietly, suddenly forcing us all to recall the phrase that near traumatized us all a week ago. Had to poop out my werewolf arm.
Yeah, what goes up must come down, what goes in must come out.
He explained in his own kind of way.
It's hard on the body to do what she did. Didn't have enough food stored for Mass, so when she changed, it took till there wasn't anything left to take. Now her body is trying to get rid of everything that isn't mostly human. It shouldn't leave her with much. That's why she's so bad off right now.
The poor girl, Leslie murmured softly.
She's made it out of the worst of it,
Milo reassured her.
So, does the out part get worse when they change all the way?
That's disgusting, Joanna exclaimed. Why would you even ask that? And as you can all imagine, Joanna's revulsion at the question only served to excite Milo's enthusiasm to answer.
Define worse,
Milo said with a grin.
What do you mean? Well, I mean worse for who? The one doing it, or whoever has to deal with the aftermath?
He smiled even bigger in Joanna's direction, causing her to wince.
When we're fully transformed, we're also in a lot better shape when we get back. But what comes out... Well, you guys ever seen Jurassic Park?
It took us a few seconds before we collectively groaned. Oh my God.
I mean, now Tegan, she's a proper lady about it. Usually brings some toilet paper and finds her a secluded spot away from civilization and innocent human beings and takes care of it.
He went on.
And what do you do? To ask a question I don't really think I want answered. Well, you see, I like to find the nearest construction site and just unleash all hell on some poor, unsuspecting porta-john. Then I like to hide and wait around for the first person to open the door. One guy actually started crying. It was great.
Milo bragged. And there we were, in the middle of my house, having an in-depth conversation about werewolf shit. Somebody stopped the merry-go-round. I want off. Nobody went back to sleep. We all just stayed up and discussed what we was gonna do now. To little success. After a while, me, Trey, and Milo went to the kitchen to start making some food for recovering Tegan upstairs, who Leslie, Dex, Jasmine, and Joanna were with. We'd finished making something, and one of them would come down long enough to snatch it up and take it to her. After a while, Trey and Milo got to chatting.
So how'd you meet her?
Milo asked Trey, inquiring about the rabid shithead on lockdown in the garage.
Met in college. Same economics class, actually. The first conversation we ever had was her actually asking me out.
Milo slammed his hand down hard on the table.
What? Yeah, we even went on a couple dates way back. Once we even held hands. You dated her?
Milo asked, pointing towards the garage.
Well, yeah, I mean, she's not so bad all the time, and she's cute. In an I might stab you in your sleep kind of way. Oh my God,
Milo said, leaning back in his chair to look around the corner.
You're right, she's cute. What the hell? I thought she was...
A lesbian? I interrupted. Well, I get how you might think that. She does mostly bat for the away team, but I catch her looking at the fellers every now and then. I try not to label those kinds of things. That way, nobody feels pressured to stay inside a box. Let people hump whoever they want to hump, I say.
But you let people call you Gay Jake.
That's because I'm queerer than a $3 bill, sweetie. Don't want nothing to do with any vagina. They creep me right ass out. They look like them face things from the Alien movie. You ever make eye contact with one? Looks like something gonna jump out and get you. I explained likely a little more vividly than entirely necessary.
Okay,
Milo said slowly, somewhat cringing.
What about the others? How'd they all meet? Well, Joanna's kinda new to all this. I met her at the mall where she worked, and we'd only been dating for about a week before met you.
Yeah, and Dex was already living here when I brought Shithead in.
Wait, Dex lived here too? Why?
That boy had his problems too, and had a lot of troubled kids through here over the years. Dex had a fondness of opioids, which led him to a fondness of heroin, so he ended up here in a similar way. He was cleaned up and getting back on his feet about the same time that little hellion came in.
Then what?
Milo asked, scooting forward in his seat. Oh, she bullied the piss out of the boy. But that boy stayed and took it all and never complained, not even the first time. And I'd tell him, I'd say, why you let her do you like that? And he'd just smile and say that he could see how much pent-up anger she had, and that she was dealing with it the only way she knew how. Bless that boy's heart. He hung in there till the bitter end, to where one day she just snapped, and all the guilt of every time she smacked him or pushed him or called him some horrible name or break something of his hit her all at once.
And then what?
Milo asked, almost standing off his chair. She did something I hadn't ever seen her do up to that point. She apologized. Hell, after that you hardly see them apart, really. I don't think she would have recovered as well if he wasn't around like he was. I think they've been best friends ever since. I've been catching him peeking into the garage on his way back upstairs every time he comes down to get Tegan's food. After that conversation, I'd catch Milo and Dex making their way to the kitchen and then up to Tegan's room side by side. I mean, most of the time, it was just long enough to let pressure wave of obscenities burst through the opening, but they were making the effort just the same. And now, let me tell y'all, this next part just broke my little heart. Later that night, I went on to poke my head in the garage real quick, and oh my goodness, I found Milo and Dex both sitting on the cold concrete floor. Dex was out like a light, leaning up against the wall, but Milo had brought a laptop downstairs and had it open and playing her favorite movies for her. Every now and then, he'd catch Mark trying to watch, so he'd pick something random off the floor and throw it at him, saying, "No, you don't get to watch," which would cause our predatory princess to crack an evil little grin each time. Now, don't get me wrong, I still wasn't going to get in range of them chompers, but this was the calmest she's been so far. I stuck my head in just a little to ask Milo if he needed anything.
Nah, Tegan passed out from the itis a while ago, so I figured to hang down here with Jaws and the fecal phenomenon over there to keep her company.
Hey, is that her laptop? How'd you get that? She keeps that locked up like Fort Knox.
Well, at first she said she'd open it for me, but when I tried to hand it to her, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice.
He turned to show me a mouth-sized section of his right sleeve missing, with what was apparently dried blood around the edges.
So I figured it out myself. Wasn't too hard. Turns out it was Bobby's idiots, all one word.
Boy, you gotta tell me, are you an idiot or a genius? I gotta know. I finally broke down and asked him what everyone was thinking.
Exactly,
he answered with a wink and turned back to the screen. That boy makes me tired, I swear to God. He's lucky he's cute. We all gathered back up in the kitchen later the next day to resume our figuring. Like you might expect, we didn't get awful far at all. That is, until Tegan finally made her way down the stairs in relatively better condition. And that's 'cause when we saw her, Dex went to say hi and waved to her, which made him drop that gun-shaped knife thing of his, which then thunked tit first right into my hardwood floor. "Oh, damn it, boy! You're already fucking up my whole house!" I barked. But about that time, Milo got this strange look on his face.
Hey, Tegan, that guy who made these things,"
he said, yanking the cutlery from my hardwood floor.
"Maybe he knows something about what we can do to help her."
Holy shit! Bang, rattle. Sounded from over near the fridge where Jasmine had been pilfering around for food. Oh God. She groaned, holding her head as she slowly shuffled over to the table. "Oh, honey, your poor head. Are you all right?" I tried to ask, but she just held a finger at me. Mm-hmm. She mumbled, trying to hold still as much as possible until she was able to take a deep breath and talk again.
Do you think that would work?"
she asked Milo.
"It's worth a shot. You should try at least. Teague, do you have any contact info for him or anything? What was his name?"
"No, I am sorry. We did not get it before we leave. But I am thinking his name was Hephaestus. He says to call him Hep also." To spare you some boring dialogue, in about 30 seconds, that idiot savant had found him on fucking Facebook. Turns out he's pretty easy to get in touch with through his day job not making vampire fighting equipment. About another 30 seconds later, we all gathered around the phone, set it to speaker as it rang. The other end clicked, and someone on the other side answered.
Hello? Yeah, this is the IRS. I already told you to suck my ass.
That is the strange Tony person, Tegan whispered.
Yeah, hi. I think I'll take a rain check on the ass sucking,
Milo replied, causing everyone to chuckle.
Any chance we can chat with Hep real quick?
Oh, shit. Right. Give me a second.
We then heard him say something with the phone away from his face that sounded like,
Yeah, run this out to him.
Followed by the familiar sound of metal tinking and the sound of some kind of power tool getting louder in the distance.
Hello? You got help?
Yes, hello.
Milo said loudly.
Hi, yeah, my friend and my wife just left your place a few days ago. You remember?
Wait, you two are married?
Leslie shrieked.
Really?
Milo and Tegan both held up their left hands, showing off a small black band tattooed around both their fingers that apparently none of us noticed before.
Aw, that's adorable.
Jasmine and Leslie both cooed in unison, causing Joanna to groan in disgust.
We got married in Romania, in Vlad's castle. And it was the last thing I used my inheritance money on, other than the plane tickets to get back here,
He said with a big, proud grin. That is just beautiful. The voice on the other end spoke up, causing us to jump a little bit. Yep, still here, guys.
All right.
Milo says back to the phone.
So we kind of have a situation.
Your buddy went psycho and tried to hate someone.
Yeah, how do you know?
I had a hunch that things might go tits up with your girl in the garage over there. Guess my little friend was helpful after all, the man said, making us all lean way back from the phone.
How do you know she's in the garage?
Milo said, joining the rest of us looking around the room suspiciously. Don't worry about it, the man said, increasing our worry. Now, what do you need from me?
Well, we were hoping you know how to fix her, or something.
I do not, but I think there is a way. I know people who would know. I'm going to give you their number. Just tell them Hephaestus told you to call. That should get them talking. Then he gave us the number to call, wished us luck, and hung up. We didn't waste a second dialing the new number. We set the phone back down on the table and circled around again, listening to the ring. Click.
Where's the hotel front desk? Who the fuck is this?
Voice shouted through the speaker. We all looked around at each other, all seemingly collectively thinking the art of answering the phone has really taken a dive.
Hi, my name is Milo and is told to call by Hephaestus. Who the fuck is this? Oh, god damn it. I hate taking these. Jesus, what a day. Hello, my name is Leslie. How can I help you today?
Oh my god, my name's Leslie too.
Like, OMG! Do you, wanna totally be BFFs and, have sleepovers and talk about all the cute boys on the football team and, do each other's nails and stuff?
The man on the phone said in the most heavenly condescending tone I think any of us ever heard. Asshole, Leslie whispered to herself, walking away from the table.
What the hell do you people want? Our friend is half vampire, werewolf thing. I think she's trying to eat us.
Milo said into the phone.
We need to know how to fix her. An orichalcum-infused weapon to her head or a heart should fix her.
The man replies, sending Jasmine into a shit fit.
No can do, buddy. We're gonna need her alive.
Milo said once we got Jasmine settled back down.
Oh, okay, God. You said she's trying to eat people, yeah? Yeah, that's right. She bit a chunk out of our out of Mark. Ate his finger, too. Jesus, have you people ever watched a vampire movie? What do vampires need? Blood? Yes, blood, dumbass. And what happens when they don't get what they need for a while? They flip the fuck out. So, how about, and hear me out, you get us some goddamn blood!
The man yells at us.
So, we just go in there and give her some of our blood? That seems easy enough.
Dex asks.
No, you jackass! Not unless you wanted to bite a chunk out of your stupid neck. Okay, look. You idiots obviously can't be trusted to think this through yourself, so here it is. Right now, you need to find a way to slide her a big bucket of fresh and completely human blood. If she's only half vampire, however the fuck that happened, then she'll probably only need a small amount every now and then. Regular food should work most of the time. Pure vampires get most of their nutrition from liquefying the entire body and sucking that up. If she doesn't have the osteal dentitions you see on regular ones, and her tongue isn't partially bifurcated, then she'll probably get most of her nutrition from regular sources. And once she's calmed down, you'll be able to donate her directly. But unless you want her to tear you a new asshole, right now you need to think of a way to get her blood while she's all bitey and shit. This is just how she is now. You don't fix a werewolf and you don't fix a vampire. Deal with it. God, I feel like I'm just here to explain shit to people all the damn time.
Click. And with that, the guy hung up, leaving us all looking at the black screen in silence. After about 30 seconds of gazing into the touchscreen void, Jasmine finally broke the quiet.
I guess we need human blood.
Milo responds.
What a coincidence! I know someone who has some to spare.
Grabbing a metal turkey baster syringe and a large Tupperware bowl before starting for the garage with a spring in his step.
What the fuck, you psychopath?
Joanna shrieked at the top of her lungs, stepping in front of Milo with her arms spread, blocking his way.
What?
Milo questioned with the most bullshit feigned innocent tone possible. As y'all can imagine, that didn't go well, and the rest of us damn near had to break up a fist fight. After we got them two cooled down, about 30 minutes later, we started figuring out how we're supposed to come by a heap of fresh human blood. Long story short, it's pretty obvious a blood bank would have something to do with our solution. But we sat around for hours trying to come up with a heist game plan, before that lovable moron Milo said something I ain't sure was smart or dumb. But I gotta admit, didn't none of us think of that.
Why don't we just run in, grab it, and run back out?
He asked us all, sitting up from where he'd been laying down on the floor.
What are you talking about?
Try asked him.
I was just thinking, how many people try to steal blood from a blood bank? It's not like they try to keep that shit in a vault with a bunch of armed guards and stuff, right?
Milo explained, which actually started making some kind of sense. So we all decided we was gonna smash and grab a blood bank. We found one a respectable ways away online first. Then we had to decide who was going.
I'm thinking Milo. I mean, if something does go shit and he gets shot, he can heal. We can.
Trey said. Everyone seemed to agree, then Tegan spoke up. Then someone will have to go with him, she said. Why's that, honey?
Tegan?
Milo started, but Tegan said it before he could stop her. Because Milo does not know how to do the driving.
Thank you, Tegan. Thank you.
Oh my god, you don't know how to drive?
Joanna cackled mockingly at the poor boy, whose head was now hidden in his arms. Hey, you behave, you little shit, I scolded her. It's okay, sugar, we ain't gonna judge you none here, I comforted him, secretly taking out my little notepad and putting a check under the stupid section of the smart stupid tally I'd been keeping of him through the day. Anyway, I ended up volunteering to drive the little hoodlum, 'cause I had a dummy plate for my Wrangler that weren't nobody looking for, and don't trace back to my house. And once the next day rolled around, we were ready to get wild. We figured sooner was better than later to get our situation somewhat stabilized. Plus, we figured the more time we had to think about it, the more likely we'd come to our senses and chicken out.